How's it going? You know what I can't stand? I can't stand the fact that I have a mind or a brain of a fucking toddler. You know what I mean? It's like, what? Like, why? I literally, on the way here, I was like, oh, I got a good story to talk about on the podcast. Got here, right? And then just totally forgot. It's like when you take a test, right? And they ask you some dumb fucking question, and you're like, what's the answer? I know the answer, but I can't think of it right now. Why is it not coming to me? And then you get out in the fucking hallway. It's like, it was Ben Franklin the whole fucking time? I knew that. Why couldn't my brain just not access that? And then my dumb ass, you know what I do? I think of something, like, I won't forget. I do it every fucking time. I won't forget. I don't have to write it down. I don't have to put it in my notes on my phone. I'm literally driving across town to share the story, right? To say it on the podcast. I drive across town. It's 7-8 minutes, right? Then by the time I get here, I'm like, what was I thinking about? What was I going to say on the podcast? I don't remember now. Now I got to sit here for 10 extra minutes and be like, what was that fucking story? Now I'm frustrated because I can't remember the story. It's like, what is the point? What's the point of my brain besides functioning throughout the day, right? If I can't remember anything from my just 10 minutes ago. But the dumb shit that I do remember, it's baffling. I wish that we could program our brains. Let me get somebody making a USB cord. USB cord? Is that a USB cord? That sounds weird when you say USB cord. Somebody makes a USB cord that I can plug into my brain, put it in the computer, and be like, hey, we don't need to remember the stab in your juice or your milk bags in 5th grade, right? We don't need to remember playing on the playground in elementary school. We don't need to remember having an altercation with a guy who later became gay, but we didn't know at the time we were fighting a gay guy. And now, is that like fighting a woman? How does that work? Not that I'm saying that the gay guy's a woman, but I'm saying when it comes to femininity, is that a word? Shit, I don't know. But is it equal? Like if a woman, right? If a woman is what am I saying? My whole point of this is, I bet you I'm not recording. Oh, I'm at least recording. It's one of those days, man. It's one of those days. I almost forgot the intro. I'm frustrated with this, dude. I literally drove across town over here to be like, oh, that's going to be a good story. I have 2 stories. I remember the other one. But the other thing, I'm going to remember it. And that's the worst part. I'm going to remember it as soon as I get in the car to go back home. Be like, fuck. I remember the story. But now, this 20 minutes, I will never remember it. Somebody could walk in here, right, with a paintball gun. Be like, hey, man, what's that story you had on your mind that you just recently forgot? I've been thinking about all that. I can't wait to tell this story on the podcast. And then all of a sudden I forget. Now I'm frustrated. I'm like, dude, what? And what I was saying about, can I download? I don't need to download anything, but I just want, right? I just need a better memory bank. Like, get rid of some of the old shit that doesn't matter anymore, right? Why am I still have memories, stupid shit that I don't need in my brain? Well, I would say, I don't know about what you would think, but I'm saying is, why can't I just remember little shit? That's what I think. The little shit matters more, right? I just want to remember that when I go to Walmart and I leave, I'm like, fuck, I forgot to get pepper. Am I literally gonna have to write everything down for the rest of my time here on Earth, right? You're gonna see me with a cart full of notebooks just of what I need to do for the day, or don't forget this, don't forget that. Like, what age does that? Well, in 50 years I'm gonna forget everything anyways. It's just crazy how you get to a certain age, you just the ball rolls on the other side of that hill, whatever you want to say, and shit just starts going downhill. Doesn't really matter what you do. It's just like, oh, It just fucking blows my mind that I can remember stuff from elementary school, from being a, I don't remember much from being a toddler, but I can remember the dumbest shit. But I can't remember a damn story that I would thought would be interesting, entertaining. I'm just like, what is the point? What's the point of just, I just don't understand what the hell the point is. That, it's just, why is it, what, is that the only, does that just bug me? Does that just bug me that I remember the dumbest shit? Right? It's like, I remember riding bikes, small bikes, miniature bikes. I was a toddler, or I was young, real young. I mean, not a toddler. Whatever age you can ride a bicycle. I remember riding a bicycle, right? When I was 6, 7, when did you learn to ride a bicycle? I remember the day that I learned how to ride a bicycle. It went a rainy day, right? We lived in a little brick house. Next door neighbor had a couple pit bulls in the backyard, right? And I was just like, I'm ready to let it fly. And I rolled out the driveway. You know, I was like, oh shit, we're moving. Then when you ride a bike, you get to moving. And you're like, it's either sink or swim right here. Because if I try to put my feet down and I'm going to slide across the concrete, probably fall, you know. And then at this point, you're going too fast to just, hey, casually put your fucking foot down and stop. And I was like, then I got to going for a little bit. You know, I went like 100 yards. Like, oh shit, I think I got this. Went up a hill, turned around, came back, was like, yo, your boys out here. Isn't it crazy how you can remember, or you can, or like once, like if I got on a bike right now, I would remember how to ride a bike, right? You know that expression, if you don't use it, you lose it. Well, I've never seen somebody know how to ride a bike and then get on a bike and be like, what the fuck do I do here? Like, I don't get it. What am I supposed to do? I don't understand what these pedals are for. What's the chain doing? You know, it's just, I would trade in, right? You know, if we could trade in shit, like memory storage, right? Let me get rid of some stuff from back then and just let me, you know, free up some memory to remember shit that I could use right now, right? Because what's the point of just remembering shit that I no longer need? Is it because memories make us who we are? Or lead us to who we are? Or what is that about? How much of your memories are just well placed to make you who you are? Huh. Never thought about it like that. But I understand that you want to remember some stuff, you know, about your family, about your friends, about some stuff that I just be like, well, can we just like, you know, put this in one of those, you know, when you go through the bank when you're a child and your mom puts the damn thing in there and it just put some old memories in that little canteen thing, whatever they call that. Just put it in that little, you know, that's what I'm talking about. If you're on audio, you're probably like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? If you're listening, it's on audio. But I'm saying is, I just want to free up some room to remember stuff. It's just like, what? Like, I literally, like, y'all don't understand how frustrating this is to me that 10 minutes before I came over here, I was like, oh, I'm going to tell it like this, tell it like that, do that, bing, bang, boom, and then it'll be good. I had 2 stories for today. One was going to take 10 minutes, the other was going to take 10 minutes. Just call it a day. But yet, I forget the story. You know, I wish that I could just download my fucking brain to the computer and just delete some shit. You know how you have to, like, you film so much on an SD card, you put the SD card in the computer, then you're like, shit, I'm running out of storage. It doesn't need all this useless memory in here. Let's free up some space to remember some other stuff, right? Why can't we do that? That's all I'm saying. It's 2020, right? It's 2020. Didn't we think that 2020 was going to be a whole lot? What did we think? What we thought 2020 would be like. 23 hilarious predictions about the year 2020. Let's read some of these. I hate these articles online, dude. It's like, just put the 23 list. Just show me the list of 23. Why do I need to see a picture? What? Excuse me? The first one, human feet will become just one big toe. Well, speaking of big toe, I have a story. My second story that I didn't forget, I should share before I forget. All right? So, I was running the other day, and I was doing my thing. I was running, minding my own business. Car comes up, right? It's coming up to a stop sign, and I'm on the sidewalk running across the pedestrian lane so I could like walk across the fucking road and get to the other side of the sidewalk. But I don't trust people enough to just be running across the sidewalk while they're driving up, trusting that they're gonna stop. Look at me. Look at me. You're listening to an audio? Listen to me. I'm not about to sit here and trust another guy or woman behind a steering wheel of a 4,000-pound vehicle that they're gonna stop just so I can stroll my dumb ass past by. And yeah, I don't understand why we give pedestrians the right of way, right? When they're walking. It's like, hey, I understand why we give them the right of way, but it's not as safe as you would think, because if that motherfucker looking at their phone, right? They're just gonna roll the California stop through that stop sign, and I don't know how fast a car would hurt hitting you, but I'm sure 10, 15 miles per hour getting hit by a car is not fun. But what I'm saying is, I was running, car was coming up, and I was like, I don't trust this fucker's gonna stop. So I ran around the car. So I had to step off the sidewalk, right? I step off the sidewalk. My feet go straight into the concrete, and my big toe kind of folded up. At this point, I'm like, yeah, my toe is either bleeding or off my foot, or both. It's bleeding and off my foot. I had to sit down and take my shoe off. Took my shoe and my sock off. I was real nervous that my toe was going to be inside my sock. It wasn't. So I was like, cool, let's keep it. Well, actually, I had to sit there for 30 minutes and regroup. And I will tell you, I did not cry. I did not cry, physically out loud. But inside, I think I could cry inside, and I think I did. I was like, what? And you know me, I blamed the person that was driving the car. I was like, really? You had to be there right now? You had to pull up to this stop sign, right? As I was, you know how we do. Shit happens to us, we blame other people. So that's what I did. I was like, I'm just going to blame this guy. And then that led me to my friend in high school. I'll call him Chief Broke Toe, because that's what we called him. When he broke his toe, it was summer of 8th grade going into freshman year. So we're at a pool party, a friend's birthday, right? Not Chief Broke Toe's birthday, but another friend's birthday party. And we're like, cool, let's go over there, see what's good, see some ladies, see what's good. We didn't get any ladies, but whatever. So we're out there swimming, doing our thing, we're just, but hey man, look, I can do a backstroke. Pause. This is what I do. Oh God, I'm sore, man. But we was doing that. Swimming, doing whatever. And friend's mom comes out yelling, hey, food's ready. I was like, bet, let's get it. I'm trying to get a cheeseburger, put some ketchup and some mustard on that thing. I don't know why I said mustard, but I don't put I do put, actually, yeah, you know what? I do put mustard on my sandwich or my burger, but that's it. Nothing else. But she came out, yelled, said the food's ready. So we all go in the crib. I was like, let's get it. My friend, the step, right? You know how you go to the steps into the crib? Most people have 3 steps. Well, this is my friend or Chief Broke Toe's argument. The first one was real short. It was like a bop. You know how like 3 steps you go bop, bop, bop. Well, this one was bop and then a bop. Like it was like a bop and then a bop. It was real high. I was like, why is the step so high? Like you got to step a foot higher than you thought to get up there. Everybody else knew to do that, but he neglected to get his foot. He probably went 6 inches short and kicked the block right in the center of it. And you would have thought this guy got stabbed. I was like, what the fuck happened? And he just kept yelling, I'm going in shock. I'm going in shock. And so he's got a broke toe, right? Or I don't remember if he technically broke it. I guess he had to. We called him Chief Broke Toe. So later that night, my mother has to go to Walmart. So we ride with him. He's staying at my house. So we're at Walmart. He's in a sandal, no sock, just his toe just purple as can be. And we couldn't walk around Walmart because of his toe. So we just set up front and just people were walking by and be like, damn. real. Like, look at it. He's like, what the fuck you looking at, bro? And he's like, looking at your toe. And then I was with him the whole process that he broke his toe. And I was even like, man, it's a toe. What are we going to do with the toe? I mean, come on, man. And we get home and my brother's like, looked at his toes like, dude, I don't think you could practice with that. I was like, what? It's a toe. And then he goes to the trainer and the doctor and all that the next day. Turns out he broke his toe. And it all circles back to the future. Now I just injured my toe. My toe don't even hurt right now. And I was like, that was the worst pain that I have felt in a long time. Dude, if I get robbed and you go after, you're like, you pull a gun on me, I might hesitate for a second. I probably won't, bro. Just here's my fucking wallet. Fucking, I'm broke anyways. Or if you pull a knife out to my fingers and my toes, be like, hey, dude, you can have it all. Like, at that moment, you could have it all. You want my girlfriend's number? I don't have a girlfriend, but I'll give you a number to a girl. Okay, that's what I would do, because I do not want. It's like that, like slamming your fingers and toes and whatnot. And does anybody ever slam their toe in a door? Like, that's probably. Anyways, that was my story about my toe and how it hurts, or how I hurt it, and how now I will no longer make fun of people that have phalange injuries, especially toes. Fingers I can deal with. I also learned that phalange starts with a P and a H. For some reason, I thought that was one of those that started just with like a phalange, like a F-I land, like fingers. But no. Why does fingers not start with PH? I'm sick of this. I'm sick of it. Who is the guy? Did Larry Words come up with all this dumb shit? I'm going to go through some of these 23 things we thought 2020 was going to be like, because it's obviously not. We'll have 8 chauffeurs. We thought 8 were going to be driving us around. That's kind of fucked up. I mean, white people. We'll live in flying houses? Come on. Who predicted this? Inventor, science writer, and futurist Arthur Clarke, who co-wrote the screenplay for 2001. Whatever. He's wrong. Why would you want to live in a floating house? You can't even. People. And our houses will be cleaned by hoses. What? We'll eat candy made of underwear. Excuse me? That's the 5th one. We'll have personal helicopters. See, man, this is what I can't stand. You think that just imagine the dumb people that we have in America or anywhere in the world, and we think that we're just going to give them or let them buy. I mean, I guess technically they can. But could you imagine the sky overpopulated with helicopters? Imagine the amount of people that drive. Dude, I live in Kentucky, right across the bridge from Indiana, and there is a car wreck every day. It rains on 41. That's the highway in front of me that leads to Indiana. If it rains, you can be assured that there's going to be a car wreck. Could you imagine putting those people in a helicopter, right? Just C, X, and Q will not be part of the alphabet. Why would you want to take C, X, and Q out of the alphabet? I understand X. I mean, X gonna give it to you, right? See what I did there? Cue me up another one. I'm stupid. We will have both telepathy. Is that telepathy? Why do they put in teleportation? Well, I tell you, that's one of those things that I could use some teleportation in my life. All roads will become tubes. That's what Elon's working on, right? Isn't he working on putting tubes in the ground? Nobody will work and everybody will be rich. You know what? 2020 is almost, if you switch this sentence around to everybody will work and nobody will be rich. That is the life that I'm living in, right? Mail will be sent via rocket. Okay, guys. Okay. Y'all, like, I am not the smartest guy that I know by far. Not even close. I'm the smartest guy. And that was... No, Dwight D. Eisenhower did not say that he... I'm not the smartest guy in the world, right? But do y'all think that's very efficient to use a rocket to send some mail. You want to send your grandma a happy birthday card and you explode her front door with a fucking mini rocket full of mail. Happy birthday, Grandma. That's just terrible. We'll finally make it to Mars. We still not made it to Mars. Who cares? Women will be built like wrestlers. Excuse me? Like, what kind of wrestlers? Like, that's what I want to know. In 1950, Associated Press writer Dorothy Rowe revealed some shocking predictions of what life on Earth would be like in the 21st century. According to Smithsonian magazine, among her more head-scratching forecasts were that the women of tomorrow would be more than 6 feet tall. Thank God that one didn't work out. You know, if I had to choose, right? If I had to choose, let's just be glad. If I had to choose between this or giving people helicopters, give them helicopters. Let them go in the sky and do what they want. We'll wear antenna hats and disposable socks. Disposable socks? Dude, I'm a big sock fan. I have a sock collection. When I first started this podcast, if you go probably 45 podcasts ago, I was doing a sock a month. But then I was like, I'll bring it back one day eventually. But I didn't want to go through my entire sock collection while nobody was watching this. So I was like, I'll wait a couple years, see where this leads me. But you think I'm going to be wearing disposable socks? That's crazy. Everything, even baby cradles, will be made out of steel. A baby cradle made out of steel. I could see that. That's like in the movies, how you walk into somebody's futuristic home and it's always some elaborate shit. Like everything's just the same color, same steel. Just, and then the chairs are bolted to the ground and all that. We'll be able to vote electronically from home. Well, thanks for the virus. We might be doing that this year. Everyone will stop drinking coffee and tea. What else are they going to drink? Within a century, coffee, tea, and tobacco will be no longer in vogue. The abolition of stimulants will not come about forcibly, he wrote. It will simply be no longer fashionable to poison the system with harmful ingredients. Your boy. I just watched a documentary, 2020, about people doing meth. And you're going to tell me that people are going to stop drinking coffee and tea? Two of the baddest things on earth right now. You give me some coffee and some tea. Oh, it's a wrap. I'm good to go. Everyone will be a vegetarian. Your boy. Y'all, like, this is, who are we allowing to make these assumptions about 2020? But also, eating will no longer. Now, come on. The prediction came just 15 years, in my lifetime, 15 years ago. It was made by Ray Kurzweil. He wrote in his 2005 book that by the 2020s there will be nanobots capable of entering the bloodstream to feed cells and extract waste. As a result, that makes sense, but I don't see that happening anytime fucking soon. Because, that's how we always do. We always look ahead and say, in 10 years, I'll be able to download my brain to the computer so I can restore and get rid of some memory. They're always wrong. Just add 50 years to that. It's like when I'm at work and they're saying, hey, in a month, this is going to get better. I'll believe it when I see it. And that's not a nihilistic viewpoint. I'm just saying I better just expect that it's not. If it does, then we can enjoy it when it's here and when it does. But if it doesn't, I'm not going to sit around and be like, in 3 days, it's going to be a whole different life. Because most of the time, it's not. What? Vacuums will be nuclear powered? Last one here. There will be no need for futurists to predict the future. That's a good one. That's a good one to end on, because that's 23. And that's the podcast for this week. And I wish that I remembered the story that I was going to talk about or tell. I remembered one of them. The toe one was in there, and it just happened to fall in place with the number one on this list about everybody having one big toe. Also, who the fuck wants to have... I like having separation of toes. Like, like separation of church and state. I like my toes being separate from each other. I like to have a little bit of feels. Like, what am I talking about? What am I talking about? But that's the week. I'm going to get out of here. I got some things to do tonight. And by that, I mean go home and edit this. And just like that, Don't do whatever you do, but don't let the door hit you on the way out.